evening, everybody.
Good evening.
First of all, congratulations to you, Mr. Khanna. You did a wonderful job. A big round of applause for him.
Thank you, sir.
I was listening to him very, very carefully. Actually, you know what he did? He walked us through the fundamentals. I mean, he touched upon the very basics of, we've been talking of big layers, we are talking of so many things, but we are forgetting the basics of the instrumentation. And he touched upon the sensors, he touched upon the quality aspects, the uniformity, the homogenization of furnace, or let's say talk of the material wastage, and wonderful. Because since I have had the privilege of working with many furnace companies, working with the furnaces hands-on and doing the PID tuning with many furnaces, be it the pit furnace or be it the carburizing furnace or the bright annealing and so forth. And I've seen this. I mean, I basically come from more of a instrumentation background rather than the metallurgy background. So I could see that disconnect and the gap. Because we instrumentation guys feels that certain basics are expected to be known, and what happens that when you go out onto the field, you realize the people who are actually operating furnace, they are just they come with a very basic knowledge, and then you have that disconnect. And he really covered it very well. So incidentally, it so happens that whatever that I am going to talk about, it actually complements to what he said. So see, he actually covered the layer of the basic fundamental sensor portion of it.
No, mine was graduation, he said post-graduation.
No, nothing like it. I mean, I'm just complimenting to what he did in terms of, say many times, like initially when we used to go out on the field and talk to people, they used to ask me that what is the accuracy that the PID control of yours can give. And then I used to wonder that I can't give you any time accuracy. When there are so many factors, you are talking of the furnace design, you are talking of the basic sensor, etc. So what I am going to do is, I am actually not going to walk through that once again because it's very well covered, and we can't have too many long academic sessions in short period like this. So what I will rather do is walk you through what is happening in the arena of the instrumentation field today with respect to the heat treatment, not only the furnaces but the heat treatment per se, right? And maybe many times what happens is that we are working with our own field, our own arena, and maybe we lose sight of what's happening outside us. So maybe I'll make an attempt here to walk you through what is there in the heat treatment and what is the role that instrumentation can play, and how we can actually make of a usefulness of the instrumentation for the better productivity, efficiency, and he talked about the bottom line. Ultimately, we are all running the business. We are not here for charity. So we want to ensure that whatever that work we do, whatever investments that we make, it gives us the desired productivity and efficiency. So that's what my objective is, and let's begin. See, this is the variety of heat treatment. When we talk of heat treatment, let me tell you, we actually start with furnace, but there are many areas, even heat treatment. I mean, he basically touched the basic temperature. So temperature goes across any industry that we talk of. So what I have depicted here is, let's say, heat treatment, metal, aerospace and ceramics. He covered, let's say, in fact I was reading here also, the advanced metal processing technologies, and we are talking the world-class materials. Now what all this means? The trend is, we are working in the multinational environment. Lot of manufacturers are having either units here or they are exporting their furnaces abroad. And when they are exporting the furnaces abroad, it is not the road technology or the street engineering that we use here is going to be useful anymore. I mean, we have to get graduated to the next level. So what factors which are important is to understand what all goes behind it. Starting with, let's say, the material properties, the microstructure. Now these are all the fundamentals which metallurgists like you understand better than us. But then how do we protect them by making use of instrumentation is what we will go through. So let's say the metals, we are talking of the various machines like even extrusions and casting, rolling, forming, heat rolling, hot and cold, then the ferrous, non-ferrous, and even the ceramics and glass. So these are all the areas which are actually making use of not only the furnaces but the heat treatment as a process. So it is not temperature controller per se, but it is process control. That is what we are addressing. When we talk of primary metals, we could actually touch upon the basic metals. We can talk of aluminum, titanium, nickel and other non-ferrous metals. Now all these metals, they have different characteristics. And as Mr. Kannada was talking about the atmosphere furnace, bright ending furnace, carburizing, these are all furnaces which are complex furnace in nature. So unless and until you are really making a holistic control of the process control of the furnace, you may not get the desired results. So for that, it is very essential that you understand the fundamentals of which all areas other than the basic design which is expected to be right, and then make good use of the instrumentations available. So equipments we are covering: furnace, kilns, dryers, oven manufacturers, ceramic bricks, refractory products. So all these are the areas where the instrumentations are going to play a vital role. Again, this is a list expanding the equipments. Many a times we get restricted to furnaces, as I said. So this is talking about variety of things like extrusions, forging, annealing, coating lines, continuous casting lines, coking plants, BOS plants, blast furnaces, stones, galvanizing lines. So these are all the equipments which gets covered under the heat treatment processes. Yeah. Yeah. Now let's understand this. If you are already using some sort of instrumentation within the plant or a furnace, let's say you would have come across variety of components. Maybe you could have come across some PID controller or on-off controller or the sensor as Mr. Kannada covered, and then you possibly could be using some PLC also. If you are having some bright annealing furnace or some small heat treatment furnace these days, nano PLC come. So all these components you could have used in some fashion or the other, and our knowledge incidentally remains restricted to what is in for me, and then we actually do not see the vision beyond it. So what I would like to tell you here is, as we are moving towards globalization, and when we are talking of the global standards, we have to now get little more particular about the standardization. So let's say you can see some of the phrases here like NETCAP. There are industry regulations now coming in. Like for example, if you talk of a pharmaceutical, there are 21 CFR 11 electronic signatures. So the way the data are electronically captured, they need to be regulated as well. So what happens is, all this instrumentation, if you make a good use of it, it can give you wonderful results. For example, if you are driving a great car, there are two aspects. One is knowing the technology behind it, the mechanical aspects of the car, and second is the driving, how good you are at driving at it. So what happens is, as all these technologies are available, we cannot break our head all the time in understanding the technology. Technology, somebody has worked on it. Now your and my job is to make a good use of it. So we have to become a good driver of this technology. So many times we break our heads to understand, question the basic technology. They are there, somebody has worked on it. So let's make use of it. So what we are actually covering here is, if you see some of the let's say single environment control strategies, then workflow procedures, then peer-to-peer, when I say number of products which are using some different communication standards, or a remote control, etc., etc. Now as you are growing to the next stage of the automation, let's say I have had the privilege of working with many automobile companies and the glass companies, and they have battery of furnaces. So what they do is, if you are just controlling standalone furnace, you think that you know the instrumentation, but when you actually get into an integrated environment, then you suddenly realize that, hey, there is so much that we are missing. If you can just go to next, I'll tell you what I mean. See, we all discretely use many products, but when it comes to integrated environment, we are at a loss. Number one, we are not in that business. We have our own business to maintain. Let's say if you are either running your manufacturing plant, or you are let's say commercial heat treater, who is maintaining battery of furnaces and treating somebody else's job. Now what happens is, if you want to improve the productivity, efficiency, the losses that you want to bring down, then you have to understand this. I'm just giving you a vision. I'm not expecting you to become an expert, neither am I. All I'm saying is, let's get present to that this is available to us, and if you have a vision, then you can apply them. So this is like a simple three components here, as you can see. One of them is, let's say, data logger, which Mr. Kannada was talking about. Then a PID programmable controller. Now here I'm not going to talk about how good a PID controller could do the job. It is expected you to know that PID is going to be better than on-off controller. It is going to give you a better programmability. It is going to give you a better accuracy and the uniformity in the furnace. So that is done. Third is the IO, which is a PLC. Now all these three components we use But if you know how to integrate them, then you can get a better result out of it, which we'll say in the next slide. Now, what is this screenshot? This screenshot is actually giving you an overview of a plant. Let's say there are number of furnaces. I'm talking of, let's say, carburizing workshop. I mean workshop for a carburizing process. And there are, let's say, 6 silk quench furnaces, 4 temper furnaces, 2 washers, 1 shot blast, 1 quench oil tank. Now these are all various equipments which are there in the workshop. They all have individual electronics or a control or a PLC. But if you are able to integrate them together, then what could happen? Let's say it can give you at a single screenshot the status of each of those furnaces. You will get to see the status, whether it is running, whether it is down, what is the state of it, whether it is loading, unloading, or etc. etc. Now what happens is, if you are running your shop floor, it will give you the better visibility that what's happening to my various furnaces. By that data, whatever decision you take, which is informed decision. So your productivity and efficiency, like for example, if you have some particular furnace which is either shut down or which is down for some sort of a calibration, you have those informations early on with you for you to take a better decision. If you go to next, we'll see that. This is the furnace calibration schedule. See, we all know that we are talking of the quality, we are talking of the standards, and these are all auditable points. Like even if you are a commercial heat treater and doing some heat treatment for somebody else, they are going to come and check whether all your thermocouple and sensors are calibrated well, are you maintaining the standard, is your PID controller calibrated, are you having them calibrated against some specific standards. So what you do is you pre-program all these basic information right in the beginning, and that gives you the prompts that hey, X number of furnace is due for calibration. So you don't have to wait and wonder, somebody come and audit you. You become auditor for yourself. So you get into a self-discipline mode rather than somebody pointing at you, hey, do something. So then let's say if you have to order some sensors, you know early on that hey, this particular sensor is going to be due, or let's say if you're talking of zirconia, you have to do the cleaning operation. You will have to get an idea beforehand, hey, this is going to be due for the cleaning operation, so let me do some act right now. So these are all going to give you the preempts.